Gabriel Jesus leaving Arsenal is now actually a discussion we need to have. I'm seeing so many people in the media, so many Arsenal journalists coming out and discussing this that I thought, why can't I have my opinion on it? Why can't you guys have your opinion on it? So I thought that's exactly what we can do in this video. Let's have a discussion on Gabriel Jesus. Also, we've got some Timba news. We're going to be discussing that. And also, Chido Obi Martin, the boy wonder kid, the guy who just can't seem to escape the headlines at the minute. You know, we're going to be speaking about him as well. Before we get into it, though, just very quickly, do me the favour, if you could, just hit like on this video. So, Gabriel Jesus, where do we start here? I can't believe we're having this conversation already. You know, Gabriel Jesus, it seems like, only came in a couple of years ago, and he kind of transformed Arsenal. Not him and him alone, but he was kind of part of that process to take Arsenal to that next step. And now it's happened. It seems like maybe we've outgrown Gabriel Jesus. That's not my opinion, but I see many people holding that opinion, and I have to respect everyone else's opinion. I think there is going to be some difference of opinion on this. I think everyone will see the situation slightly differently, and that's why I want to hear from people, because I'm genuinely wondering, what is everyone's thoughts on this? So let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about this Gabriel Jesus leaving Arsenal story? Not necessarily do you think it's going to happen. You can let me know if you do, but, you know, would you get rid of Gabriel Jesus in the summer transfer window? Let me know. I mean, if we're looking at Gabriel Jesus's form, look, he's not sort of hitting the numbers that I would have hoped, to be honest. When we first brought him from Manchester City, I saw a pathway for Gabriel Jesus to maybe be that 15, maybe trying to push them 20 goal a season striker. Now, it hasn't panned out that way. Do I think he has the ability to do it? I mean, he gets himself in so many good positions that it's kind of hard to not imagine him being that kind of guy. But I think we all have to agree that he's probably not going to be that 20 goal a season striker. And that's okay, because I do still think Gabriel Jesus has qualities and can offer Arsenal things that will still be important to this team. I mean, if we're looking at his stats this season, he scored 8 goals and 7 assists, which isn't great, but I mean, it isn't terrible considering he has missed a short part of the season with injury. It seems like he's missed quite a huge chunk of the season with injury, but he's actually played 33 games. So, you know, he hasn't missed that much time on the sidelines, but it's just that reoccurring knee injury that seems to be plaguing Gabriel Jesus over this last year or two. Last season, 11 goals and 7 assists. So there's definitely been a slight drop-off from last season. I would say he probably played a similar number of games last season. And look, since Gabriel Jesus had that most recent knee injury, his goal-scoring form has dropped. I still think the ability's there, and that's the frustrating thing with Gabriel Jesus. I still think he's a quality player. I think he's wicked. I think he can kind of be that wing option that Arsenal need. Now, I don't see Gabriel Jesus as an out-and-out striker, a number 9. I don't even see him as above Havertz in the pecking order. Havertz is above Gabriel Jesus now, but, you know, Arsenal are said to be looking for a right wing backup option to Saka in the summer. And to me, I think Gabriel Jesus can play that role. I mean, he shows flashes of brilliance at times. Just, you know, that game against Bayern Munich kind of signified what Gabriel Jesus offers Arsenal. You know, Arsenal were struggling and he just comes up with a moment of magic out of nowhere. You know, he does the thing where maybe you start to think, oh, he's holding on to the ball for too long again. Flashes it to Trossard and he buries it 2-2. And that is what Gabriel Jesus can do. That's why I don't mind Gabriel Jesus on the wings. Because he is very profligate in front of goal. He doesn't hit the target every single time. So don't play him as a striker. Play him on the wings and allow him to flex what abilities he does have, which in my opinion is he's okay at carrying a ball. He's definitely good at beating a man. And he has plenty of confidence. And out in the wings, what you want is a player with loads of confidence. Because you want them attacking their man. Especially like this season where we've had a right winger or a left winger going up against a left back or a right back who's on a yellow card, and they just don't seem to be pursuing that. They don't seem to be pushing that guy who's been on a yellow card. I think if Gabriel Jesus is in that position, I think he's running circles around them. So that's why I'm not ready to give up on Gabriel Jesus just yet. Like I said, as a striker, I've been give up because he is frustrating. I can acknowledge that. I'm sure you guys can acknowledge that. But on the wings, as a backup option, as a last 20 minutes, when you just need a different look, when you need something to try and change a game, I think that is Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus signifies that to me. He's someone who can come on and just create a moment of magic. Like I said, let me know your thoughts on Gabriel Jesus. I would keep him because, I mean, what is the alternative? You're going to sell Gabriel Jesus. I mean, what kind of fee are we going to command for Gabriel Jesus? We bought him for about 50 million. We're not going to reach nowhere near that level, especially with his knee injury. You know, I've heard reports today of Gabriel Jesus coming out saying he's not ready to leave, which is brilliant because I don't want him to leave. But if say Arsenal was saying, no, we're adamant, we want to sell him, you're probably going to get about, 30, 35, 40 million top end for Gabriel Jesus, which I don't agree with, by the way. I think he has the ability to be a £60 million player, but just no one's going to pay it with that injury record. So if the option is selling Gabriel Jesus for 30 million and then, like I said, we need someone else to come in. If you're getting rid of Gabriel Jesus, you need to be getting someone who's better. We can't be taking a gamble on someone who's quite cheap and might work. Arsenal aren't in that process no more. Arsenal are so close to being there that we can't be kind of gambling on these 20, 30 million pound players. Now, I'm sure you can pick up a good player for that price, but all I'm saying is you can't let Gabriel Jesus go and then bring in a maybe. If we're bringing someone in, you need to spend probably big money and bring in someone who is qualified, someone who's going to hit the ground running. And I know that's never guaranteed, but you know what I mean? You need to go and buy that big boy winger, which we probably will focus on now in the summer. You know, the dialogue this season is Arsenal needs a striker. It kind of seems that Arsenal's mind frame has been shifted slightly since the uptake in form of Kai Havertz. He's been playing very well in that striker position. So apparently Arsenal are now starting to think maybe we don't need to go and spend £100 million on a striker. Maybe we can kind of go for a younger profile of striker who can come in and learn and also rotate with Havertz at times. Now, that will be a discussion for another video because I think Arsenal's striker situation is a very important position. So I'd like to dedicate a whole video to that. But like I said, just let me know your thoughts on Gabriel Jesus. Also, I wanted to speak urian Timba. The news is urian Timba is, well, I listened to the press conference. Mikel Arteta said we have the whole team available. So that means urian Timba is in the squad and a potential starter. Mikel Arteta may opt that this is the game to start urian Timba. If he does, I would say be excited. Urian Timba is incredible. You guys know this. We've been waiting for urian Timba all season. And, you know, we saw that game for the under-21s, I think it was, where he scored that goal top corner for a left-back. So that kind of just whets the appetite even more for urian Timba. Do I think he's going to start? Maybe not. Would I like to see him start? I mean, if he's fit, throw him in because I want to see it. And if we can have urian Timba fit going into that Man United game, brilliant. But do I think it's going to happen realistically? Probably not. I think he's probably going to get 10, 20 minutes at the end of the game after Kivior or Tomiyasu has completed the majority of the minutes. And I'm okay with that because I wasn't sure at the beginning of the season that we was even going to see urian Timba this season. That injury is horrific. To pick that up on the first game for a new club, first competitive game, I'm not sure that's happened many times in the history of football. Now, I'm sure there's a few examples, but that is such an unfortunate injury to pick up. So, you know, all of us, I've seen it in the comment section. I've seen guys talking about it. Everybody's so excited to see what urian Timba can do with that left-back position, which we know is a position that not one person's been able to lock down and make their own. As like a Ben White on right back, for example. No one's taken Ben White's position, but that left back position, you know, we kind of have a few options there that we've been happy to try out. So I'm just looking forward to see what urian Timba can do in that position. Now, the last thing I wanted to speak of is Chido Obi-Martin. What do you do with this kid? This kid seems incredible. The amount of goals he's scoring for his age is almost frightening. You know, he's, 16 years old, and he's scored a ridiculous 24, 26 goals in his last 7 games. That's crazy. You know, there's talk recently of maybe an overseas team poaching him because we can't offer him a professional contract until he's 17. But overseas, they can do it at 16. So there's sort of rumours flying about that someone might come in and make him an offer to sign a pro contract. I certainly hope that doesn't happen. I'm sure Chido Obi-Martin wants to progress his career at Arsenal. He's been here for a very, very long time, and he definitely does have the ability. If I'm looking for players, especially strikers, looking for the next guy coming through, you know, we kind of had Balogun. Mikel Arteta didn't fancy it. And now we've got Chido Obi-Martin, who's actually outscored Florian Balogun for his age group. So I am very excited to see what Chido Obi-Martin can do. Will he get minutes for the first team next season? Probably not. Does he need to get a loan move somewhere? Probably yes. I would love to see Martin, maybe even given, a championship loan spell, or if not, send him abroad. Let him get some minutes. I'm very excited about this player. He has all the qualities. I'm going to do another video speaking about Chido Martin, but I just wanted to get your guys' opinion. Do you think Arsenal will start to transition him into the team next season? I think there's a few players you can maybe mention that do have the ability to take that next step. I'm thinking of Lewis Skelly. I'm thinking of Chido Martin, and of course, I'm speaking of Ethan Nwaneri. I think those are the three guys that I'm looking at and thinking, okay, I think we've got some potential with these guys, but let me know your thoughts on Chido Martin. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Like I said, let me know your thoughts on Gabriel Jesus. What do you think is going to happen? Because I have no idea. And if you could, just quickly, before you go, hit like on this video. Just like it and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.